G'day, I'm Crybaby Cowboy and welcome to Cooking That Gets You Laid. This week we're still pushing through the dregs of the Chook series. Today we're making a pulled chook sanga. A pulled chicken sanga is seductive because it involves pulling and squishing meat between stuff, which could be seduction, I don't know, I just read this stuff. So now we're using the last of the meat from the whole roast chook. Grab a cooked breast of chook, but use chicken thighs if you want. Shred it up and feel free to use some that was frozen earlier if that's what you have. Grab some bread, we used focaccia, slice it up, lubricate it with oil and some salt. Bung the bread in the pan to start toasting it. We're using celery and capsicum. Not gonna lie, you'd be best off dicing this instead of cutting it into strips. Then stirring it through some mayo. That way the veggies will have something to keep it in your sanga. This was a bit crook to eat because the veggies were hard to bite through and kept falling out. Bung your shredded chook breast in the pan on a high heat. Ours is frozen, so we need to make sure it thaws out. To make this easier, just leave the heat on low, so that way you don't overcook the chicken and make it tough. Flog a few splashes of stuff like honey, soy sauce and something sour like lemon juice or vinegar. Other stuff like chili and Worcester sauce is good too. The liquids will also help thaw the chook if it's frozen and might even caramelize a bit. Once those liquids cook down and coat the chook, taste it and see if it needs anything else, and much like seduction, and much like seduction, if it's ready, get it in ya. Dump your chook and veggies in your focaccia. Add your veggies, but do them better than we did. Pop the lid on and whack it in your gob. There, that is a pulled chook sanga, and it is seductive for reasons previously explained. Now you can do that for someone you can tolerate enough to seduce, because what could be more seductive than pulling meat? Look at the flonk below for a link to the rest of that Chook series, and the last episode is next for the Chook series. It is making a broth from the corpse and remains of the dead chook. Romantic. Until next time, I'm Crybaby Cowboy. Bonza pet eat. I just like get a cheeseburger, or if you're really romantic, I'd get like hash browns at 10:30 and then at like 10:31 get a cheeseburger. That's commitment, Jim. Until they started doing all day breakfast.